Oh, the weather outside is frightful. And the snow is so delightful. And since there's no place to go, why not watch reaction videos with me? Kinda sounds a little fun. Come and watch reaction videos with me for Christmas. Why not? After all, Christmas is the worst. Now, I've been given a list. Video, Julia. Ugh. She said, "Pretty please, I have to do something special for Christmas. Wah, wah, wah." The least I can do is take a look. All right, what utter rubbish do you have prepared for the Christmas season, Video Julia? Oh, no. Oh. Oh. Small Town Titans. You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch. Let's do this.
You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch. You really are a heel. You're as cuddly as a cactus and as charming as an eel, Mr. Grinch. You're a bad banana with a greasy black peel. Just face the music, you're a monster, Mr. Grinch. Your heart's an empty hole. Your brain is full of spiders. You got garlic in your soul, Mr. Grinch. I wouldn't touch you with a 39.5-foot pole.
Well, this one is certainly bringing the fun, my goodness. Okay, just range-wise, what the flip just happened? He was down in his boots in the beginning. Where did he even get to on that note? If I was to Grinchify that, I suppose it would be like, it's all right. Where did he get to? You really. Ooh, that's well and truly out of even me up the octave. Damn. You really. All right, so on me, that note is like a D3. So on him, he's the octave below. So that's a D2. Holy D for damn, I guess, because that's pretty flippin' low. I feel like he was also using like a touch of fry on that low note. And going up, I mean, if we're talking about things that can potentially distort sound related to the fry stuff, if we're talking about things that can distort sound, his control of when he wants to use distortion or not was just ace. I mean, where did he get up to on that high note?
With a greasy
And he rolled that R like he meant business.
black peel. Just face the music, you're a monster.
Just face the music, you're a monster. Monster. Okay, so he's hopped all the way from circling and descending down to this D2, and now he's up to this A4. Holy bajoli, range-wise, that is already... that's already spanning over 2 octaves of functional range that he has control over and can use with intention. Are you flippin' kidding me? That's amazing. All right. And on the distortion point, even when he was up in this 4th octave, and by 4th octave I mean in the C4, he was using distortion in some of his sounds, but then when he went to do that sustain belt, it was gone. And if you have watched Video Julia before, you would know that being able to switch distortion on and off and being able to use vocal effects on and off at your choosing, whatever you want to, is a very good thing, particularly if you're looking after your voice on a tour and you need to be able to Look after your vocal health. If it's there all the time, you're going to blow through your vocal efficiency way too quickly and perhaps not even have a voice by the end of it. So that is really cool to hear both of those clean and distorted. It sounds like a choice because he leaves it so easily and effortlessly when typically if you're putting more pressure under a sound, which is what he kind of needs for that sustain belt on the A4, if distortion is something that you don't have control over, it will probably show up at the higher breath pressure sounds as well. So let us let us keep going. Oh my. What did we get up to?
39.5 foot
And then he slides out of it, but does land on a fry distorted sound coming out of it. But if he exited that belt in a way that, considering that it does sound like a high pressure belt to me, not pressed phonation, but almost, it's a high power belt that he's engaging in there. I mean, most belts are high power, but that one in particular feels like he's putting a little bit more oomph into it. But he also has to manage it over a prolonged period of time. So, things the singer must consider when they decide how much pressure, how much squeeze they're going to put into a sound. Hopefully no squeeze at all. Hopefully it all comes from support, but there is a moderate amount of constriction and compression to his belt there, but not so much that he would be in any danger of actually losing the note, at least not in this recording. And he exited from that belt onto a fry, which is a decision that I do in fact think suits the style, but is also handy for you as a vocalist to be able to do that, to actually handy to be able to exit that in that way.
You're a vile one, Mr. Grinch. You got termites in your smile. You have all the tender sweetness of a seasick crocodile, Mr. Grinch.
What? Wait, it sounded like he was going even higher. Did I cut it too soon? I think I did. Sorry, again.
You have all the tender sweetness of a seasick crocodile, Mr. Grinch. Well, given the choice between the two of you, I would take the seasick crocodile. Yeah.
Whoa. Where did he go? Seasick crocodile. He's on a D5. I don't mean to get melodramatic, but what the fuck? Sustain belt on the D5. The A4 was officially nothing. And he swaps between where he's in more of a mix, still maintaining that belting quality, and where you can genuinely hear his first register is engaging in that full fold contact. And he does it so easily. There's definitely a warmth and a richness that I very much appreciate in when he dropped to that spoken section. But yeah, when he was going up for that belt, that he is mixy, he has to be pingy. His speech quality is just insane, and I might, if I can be bothered, I might talk about that later. But let's just re-listen to that. Holy.
You have all the tender sweetness of a seasick crocodile.
Oh God, when he's up there, he is long, thin, mix. He is mixing the absolute pants off of that. And you can hear the difference in the fullness when he's actually speaking compared to that belt, to let you know that there's not quite as much mass as if he was to try to take up as much as is available to him, considering the low notes that we heard. This is very much more on the lines of a mixed belt. He's still got the presence there for it to sound like it's connected to his first register, but not the actual weight that would make that detrimental for him to be carrying up that much weight there. I just want to re-watch this video because it looked like his face and his neck were going red. But I have contact lenses in, so maybe my eyes are just playing tricks on me. I'm going to re-watch it.
Well, given the choice between the two of you, I would take the seasick crocodile. Yeah.
Oh, goodness. Okay, I don't know if there's a light in the room showing that redness, but if you were starting to get flushed in the face and in your neck, you are working very very hard, and you don't want to do that too many times. That is a vocal health thing, but amazing that he can get up there and sustain there. There is some distortion higher up in this one, particularly as he comes out of it again. But gee whiz, I mean, he hits the note, he's sustaining up on that D5, which is insane, considering that, oh my flipping god, I just realized, if he's on a D5 on this belt, he has currently spanned 3 whole octaves for this song. That is significantly above average. Okay. Because some people have range. Don't get me wrong, they may have range. But functional range that they can actually use in a song? This is the question. That's why we have range and tessitura. But I'm not suggesting that that D5 is in his tessitura. It does seem like he's having to work for it quite a bit. But still, D5, D2. Oh my god, and we're not even halfway through yet. What else is he gonna do? Let's keep going.
You're a foul one, Mr. Grinch. You're a nasty, wasty skunk. Your heart is full of unwashed socks and your soul is full of gunk, Mr. Grinch. The 3 best words I would use to describe you are as follows, and I quote: Stag! 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 Yeah! Oh, yeah, yeah! Mr. Grinch! Stay! Stay!
That was awesome. Okay. Oh my goodness, all of the placement things that he is doing. Yeah. Okay. I was just meant to be having fun. Am I actually going to dive into lecture mode? I shall do a brief overview. Tones that are present. Deep, dark, wide, warm. Yes, yum. We have bright, mixy, slightly pingy with distortion. Great, yes. We have lots of speech quality, particularly when he's going to his first register on the spoken lines, and he's shifting his placement on those spoken lines so that we have more of a storytelling intention behind it. And it's really effective because he's basically just octave hopping to wherever he flipping wants and then applies that speech quality there. In fact, let us compare the examples of that speech quality and just feel how it's shifting from forward to back to distorted to not. He puts a little bit of a whine, some more twanginess into it at times. We get this at the front, like almost he's biting into the sound with his teeth. Let us have some examples.
See black monster, sweetness. The choice between the two. You're a foul one. Describe you are as follows, and I quote.
And that is what I am talking about. But it's not just in the talking parts that he has that speech quality working for him. It's in the very low stuff as well, because if he tries to over-sing those low notes, he might just lose them. There's that little hint of fry that I mentioned earlier. I am trying very hard right now not to get carried away. The ending section, that was some very intense belting. I described the mixing belt that he was using earlier. He returned to that and just kept going back up for that high note. So I'm starting to think that it's actually perhaps a light that's in the room that's making his skin look red, because usually if you see a singer and they start to go red, you can be rest assured that they are probably going to need a little bit of a break after whatever happened with that sing. You don't want that to happen too many times. They're going red, not the singing part. Although maybe you don't want that either. Anyway, the arrangement as a whole was really intense. I very much enjoyed the instrumentation, in particular the little instrumental break that we had in there. That was groovy and tension building, and I could not wait for the next chorus because of what was happening with the guitar work, but also with the kit. I thought that was very fun, and when it landed, even though he was returning to notes we had heard him sing before, it felt like the intensity was fresh. We had built to a newer level. Very nice. That was awesome. So if I'm just to talk tone, we had low, warm, rich, a little bit of width, touch of fry. Then we had sort of, I would say, where he probably, maybe his speaking voice is sitting, but something that felt like a much more comfortable M1. The low notes, they had presence 100%. But the really low note, it felt like he was going to some fry there. Anyway, that sort of middle part of his voice where he did some of the speaking, that was full, but we started to get a little hint of brightness that started to come in there at times, and there was a touch of compression in that sound in order to achieve a particular vocal outcome that very much sounds almost like child movie narratory. Does that make sense? Like a child's movie, like a children's movie's narrator. You might find yourself starting to do this if you need to read books to children, or hell, to other adults. Doesn't really matter. I'm not going to judge you. What you do in your spare time is up to you. And then as we start to move further up into the range, we do have that distortion, the tone thinning out slightly. We are relying on more of that pingy quality. Although it's not, I would have said, particularly twangy. There was only one spot where it really felt like he was bringing it more forward. I don't remember where it was. Shit. Whereas by the time we hit this belt, we still have some twang there, but it is not as dominant. It very much sounds distorted and with more of that rock grit feel, as opposed to pure musical theater, lots of twang, yeah. So overall thoughts, this was amazing. His voice can go many places, many octaves, just the 3, but many. This is one of those songs that you hear over and over and over again. So it was a pleasant surprise to have this be the stylistic take for this song, because it really does just give it that extra stank. I know that's a word. It's on the screen, so my brain is being influenced. But it really does give it that extra just. I love it. I love the storytelling elements of his voice. I've already mentioned those. I thought the belting was incredible. I thought that low note was insane. I thought the demonstration of range was particularly impressive. And I cannot understate the intensity of this kind of sing, particularly because he's not building towards an ending that's super high, as in gradually. He's not gradually building towards it. He's having to go to these places in different parts of his voice, using different weights and different placements over and over and over again, and often having to change where he's sitting and what kind of voice he's using very quickly. That's nuts. That's insane. That's really, really impressive work to be able to just switch in and out, in and out, in and out. I find that pretty impressive. Anyway, so I suppose we've gotten to the end now, and that is the end of the video. Bye. I positively hate shedding. Yes, because that's C1. Sometimes I forget what key and where I'm in the piano. Where are you in the piano? I don't know. There's keys everywhere. Why don't you just come and watch reaction videos with me? Ugh. Why don't we just stay home and do nothing? Anything to distract me from the fact that Christmas is soon. wish you well, good safety, turkey food stuff. I'm ending the video now. Bye.